Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Please subscribe if you haven't yet already. That would make me very happy. If you have a Gmail account, you already have a YouTube account, so all you have to do is hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, that would make me very, very happy. Today's video is another Cult Beauty Get Ready With Me. This is for season 7, episode 2, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. And it's this look with Cult Classic Beauty products. And the eyeshadow palette I'm using today is the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette, which is now permanent. I'm not sure why I'm doing this here. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, and if you'd like to hear me talk a little bit about season 7, episode 2 of American Horror Story, please keep watching. All right, I've already primed my eyes with my Tarte Clean Slate 360 degrees creaseless eye primer, and I've gone in with my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer for my eyes. So I'm starting with my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, just to lay down some white so the color pops a little bit more. So wow, okay, this episode was not as traumatic as the one before it. I think there was just so much in the first episode that was incredibly graphic. But, and again, I may forget to say what I'm using specifically, but I will always put it in the screen. Just gonna blend this a little bit with my finger, and this one with my finger. And I'm gonna start in with the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. And I'm going to go in with the lighter color Air all over, and then I'll just start building up my crease. So we wake up, we come to it with Ivy in bed and with the clown. And I really think that the clowns are real. I don't know if we have definitive proof one way or another. I'm sure at some point we will, like when we did in season 1 when we realized that people in the house were dead. But the things that are making me feel like clowns are real is that we see them when the characters don't see them. So we saw them when the murder was happening across the street. We saw them like turning the switch on and off. We see them, they're there. I truly, truly believe that. Oz's night terrors are interesting. Royal prerogative is what I'm going in with. And again, I think this will probably be more clear when we have an idea of Oz's true parentage, because it's possible that one of those women, Ivy or Allie, were the egg. Well, we don't know who the sperm came from. And I'm just going up to darker ones. Same brush. This is a Zoeva 228, and I'm going to go in with Princess. So his night terrors are interesting. I'm not sure what that means. I know that that's fairly common when you're that age, and I really appreciated later on when he asked the clown if he was dreaming or not, and the clown said that he was, and then he just went back to sleep. I had a, do you mind a little sidetrack? I'm going to take a little sidetrack. I'm going to go in with Ladyship. I had salmonella a couple years ago, and they didn't know what it was. I was in the hospital for a night, and my fever was up to like 104.1, which is high when you're older. High even when you're younger. And they took blood samples, and they put me on Cipro, which is a really strong antibiotic. And because they didn't know what it was until the lab results came back, and they just wanted to they wanted to throw something at me to make me stop being as sick as I was. And I'm generally not, this is pretty, I'm really liking this. Generally not one of those people who gets the side effect. That was Ladyship. It's kind of a purple. It's really pretty. And then I'm going to go in with Empress with a Morphe M139. So this is a little bit smaller. Empress is orange. And so one of the side effects of Cipro is hallucinations. And I am not someone who, again, generally gets whatever the side effect is supposed to be. But I went to the bathroom one night, and we're on the 3rd floor, we have a skylight, and we have a little dining room table, and I could see, it was clear that it was somebody in a Letterman jacket. I could see the outline of kind of the light, and then the dark, and then kind of the letter, but the person was bisected by the table, which obviously wouldn't be happening. And I thought to myself, because our house doesn't feel, I don't know what I think, or it's a whole separate conversation, but I didn't have any kind of feeling that there was like another being, kind of like a ghost or anything there. And I also knew that we hadn't been broken into, and even if we had, that person would have been bisected by the table, so that couldn't be real. And I actually thought to myself, I'm just hallucinating, it's a sipper, I'm gonna go back to bed. So I understand what's happening for Oz when he says to the clown, am I dreaming? Because I definitely did some of that. Macafix Plus and Morphe M124. And I'll go in with one of the sparklier colors. Go in with Royal Highness. So yeah, I definitely get what it is to tell yourself that you're dreaming. So yeah, I think that the clowns are real. It's interesting too, something else that I noticed was, so the tape of Kai getting beaten up in the parking lot, that was turned over. The people who filmed it apparently were Harrison and Meadow. I think that they must be involved. The first time that I watched the episode, I kind of wasn't sure what they were doing there, but with the same brush on the other side into Royal Highness, it's more of a pink kind of a color. I wasn't sure when I first saw them, but it was really obvious in the parking lot that someone was filming it. And I know that Kai has kind of presented as a rabble-rouser, kind of troublemaker person. And then more Macafix Plus, and this is one of the new ColourPop ones. This is the flat one. And I'm going to go in with Crown on my inner corner. I know that Kai's presenting as kind of crazy, but I know that Kai is presenting as being unstable. I don't want to call anybody crazy. That's not appropriate to do. But he does seem unstable, and he does seem like somebody who would do something like that just for the sole purpose of kind of egging somebody on. But I think that what he was doing there was intended to be filmed. I think that it was intended, he was intending to rile up those guys and have them attack him on film so that he could take the film and run for office. So if that's true, then that means that Harrison and Meadow were there on purpose, which kind of puts a whole different spin on things. I'm gonna go in with my Professional before I put on my eyeliner. I like this shadow a lot. I've used it before, and it is permanent now. So let's go back to Harrison and Winter. They are a very interesting pair. Kat Von D tattoo liner. So what's in the drums? Question number one. Those are big. Can't just be honey. And I mean, I suppose Occam's razor would say that it's their bodies maybe in there, but why would you move bodies? I don't know. Who knows what's in there? I'm sure we're going to find out at some point. So we don't know what's in there. We also don't know how much time has passed. A decent amount of time, I suppose, but not much time. I don't know if anybody would. I guess you can just buy whatever you're going to buy in terms of a house, but I mean, I'm shocked that they didn't replace the door and the blood on the floor. Just none of it seems clean or legal even. I'm not sure if realism is really what we're shooting for. Hard to say. So also, I feel like it must be some kind of chemical maybe, because when Allie was over the first time snooping, And Harrison kind of catches her and asks her what she's doing, and she runs across the street, which is ridiculous because she lives across the street and obviously he knows who she is. I don't know if we're meant to think that he's wearing his beekeeping suit, but that's not what it is. It's a much more intense suit. There's like a respirator on it, and it's not the same as the suit that we see a couple scenes later when we're looking at the bees. So yeah, wondering what's in the drums and just generally what's going on with them. Lot of guns. I guess, I mean, I collect makeup. I guess other people collect guns, but just interesting. Makeup Forever full cover concealer in, I don't even know what color I have here. It's a light color. The body, the sous chef, I forget what his name was, but I think it's interesting that Allie is the one to go to the restaurant. It's clear that Oz is having some issues with his night terrors and burgeoning kind of phobias and things like that. And I also think that Urban Decay Naked Skin and 1.0 Light, I do think it's interesting that, and probably if I was Oz, I would want Ivy and not Allie with me, because Ivy seems so unstable. And if you're having scary things happen and you're a kid and you want a grown-up to protect you, and I think it's clear that something's happening with Allie. So yeah, I probably would also want Ivy to be the one that's home, but it's clear too to me that, so the alarm goes off at the restaurant, and I mean, that was said intentionally, yeah, because whoever murdered, I mean, I think it's probably one of the clowns or the clown collective that put that guy on the hook. But the alarm was tripped when they left, I'm thinking, yeah? Laura Mercier's secret brightening powder for under the eyes. And my fancy Wayne Goss brush. So yeah, I think that Ivy's involved. I think that she let the clowns or whoever it is, I'm sure we'll find out who, just my suspicion that Ivy is involved, and she let them in. And then when they left, they made the alarm go off. Anastasia Brow was in dark brown. Do a little brushing first. So, and then the therapist, God, I almost wonder if the therapist is involved too. It's really weird that, because Ivy has some issues, but she's not, I mean, she's still her own guardian. I think it's weird that if I missed a therapy appointment, my therapist wouldn't call my husband. My therapist and my husband don't know each other. So, and I think that's pretty normal, unless it's a couples therapist, which it's not. He's not their couples therapist. So I don't know what's happening there. And also, yeah, doctor-patient confidentiality, but Allie does seem like she's getting a little bit unhinged, even if all of her fears are grounded in things that are real. But she now has a gun. She may or may not be hallucinating that there are clowns. She has a child. So yes, I totally think that doctor-patient confidentiality is critical. It's one of the many things that makes the therapist-patient situation work. However, if you are suspected of being or have the potential to be a danger to yourself or others, NARS blush and orgasm, then you're obligated to do something about it. And I don't know what he'd be obligated to do. I believe that the conversation that we're seeing between him and Ivy outside is real. I don't think that there's a whole separate subtext happening that we aren't privy to. Thinking about that in terms of a writing choice. And now Laguna Bronzer. But, so yeah, I'm not sure if he is doing the right thing by not saying something, and I'm not sure if he's involved or not. I don't know about him. Still very on the fence with how I feel about him. The power outage. So that was interesting too. So that began with Kevin Aquan, the sculpting powder in light. So that starts with Ivy in the bathtub with winter, which is inappropriate. It didn't really, I mean, it kind of crossed a line, very gray, I suppose. I'm not sure if maybe Allie's being drugged. Maybe there was something in the bubble bath or the wine, I don't know. But it seems like what was happening in the bathtub was happening partly to, the first time I'm using this, this is L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. I think that what happened in the bathtub was partly to draw attention to the fact for us, and also for, maybe for Allie, but I think maybe mostly for us, that there are problems in their relationship. Ooh, this is nice. This is really nice. I like this. I don't know if it's too early to call this a cult classic, but it might not be. This might be a new cult classic. I don't know how long you have to wait before you call something a true cult classic, but that's really good. So, power outage. So yeah, so the bathtub thing, I think, was partly to draw attention to the fact that things are not great between Allie and Ivy because of the secret. Not because of the dalliance or whatever that was in the bathtub, but because Winter says we can keep it a secret that you aren't taking your meds, which is not, and she's also keeping a secret of having the gun. But the other thing is to distract her from what I don't know exactly. So the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder. So I don't know actually what Winter is trying to distract Ivy from. So the alarm goes off in their house, and then the power goes off in the house, and then Harrison comes over with lesbians were being attacked, or lesbians were under attack. I forget what he says, but that's pretty amazing. I'm really liking Billy Eichner. But so the alarm goes off, and then the power goes out, and that is why she jumps out of the bathtub and what happens. But when she goes back to the alarm after the power's out, the alarm is not going on again. There's supposed to be a backup battery, and there's no backup battery in there. I don't know why the alarm went off. It seems like Winter was letting the clowns in, and also, if it really is out in 6 states, like, I don't understand if Winter came in because the lines were cut, the power was cut. So why cut the power if it's going to be going out in 6 states? So it could be a coincidence that people are in Ivy and Allie's place getting ready to attack her, turning the power out, while there also happens to be another power outage happening across 6 states. I'm going to zoom you through my lips, and then I'll just catch up on the other side of this. A little more with the Urban Decay. So, why cut the wires if it's going to be going off across 6 states? Not clear about that. And then, I don't know, forget the name of the guy from the restaurant, the guy who was maybe being accused of killing the guy in the freezer, the guy who goes to Ivy's house with the candles and everything for Allie and is shot. It seems to me that I feel like Ivy somehow knew that was going to happen. And why did he go in the back door, I wonder? Something in that house reminded me of the Buffy house a little bit, because the front door is in one part of the house, obviously, and the back door is out of the kitchen. But they were going out of the back door in the kitchen, not out of the front door. So yeah, lots of questions, not a lot of answers. But I'm really enjoying it. And I'm really enjoying this series. I'm enjoying giving myself a reason to dig into cult classic products. I really like this palette. It's really pretty. I like the colors a lot, and it'll be really good going into fall, and it's now permanent. So, thank you so much for watching and for spending time with me today. There's a lot to do on YouTube and a lot to do in the world, and I really appreciate that you took some time to spend with me today. Take care, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.